Okay. Model of matter, there are three. One is here solid and liquid and gas. We can know them from one. If the fixed shape, it is solid. For example, bag, table, book. The shape is fixed. The shape will not change, so we call them solid. But for liquid, they have no fixed shape. For example, water, when you put them in the bowl, the shape of the water will like bowl. When you put the water in the spoon, the water will like spoon. So the liquid is not fixed shape like this, yeah. They can change their shape. And for gas also, they have no fixed shape. And then volume of the solid fixed. You cannot change the volume, but for the liquid also you cannot change the volume. But for the gas, we can change the volume. Become like gas that mother used for cooking. There are 5 kilograms, 3 kilograms, because we can press them. Okay, compressibility also about can or not to be pressed. For solid cannot, because like book, we cannot compress them anymore. But for liquid also, you cannot compress water because they will pour out. But for gas, we can compress. Okay. Now, if I want to tell you how the appearance of solid is like this. For example, the book. Why the book have fixed shape? Because the particle is very close. Okay, the strongly attracted. See, one particle and another, they are very strongly attracted and very close together and arranged in a fixed position. And if they move, because of heat, they only move in their position. Okay, so this is why the solid we can compress, because the particles so close, so no more space for them to be compressed. For liquid, the particle attract one another, but there is small space. Even they are arranged, but not in a regular pattern. Okay, so they can move, but only a short distance. So this is why the liquid can move. They can move from one bottle to another bottle because there is a small space for them to move. Okay, now gas. Gas is the particle is very far one another's. Okay, so this is why the gas can move very fast. For example, when someone farting and then you know, oh, someone farting, why the smell is very bad. And then when mother cooking in the kitchen, you will smell the smell of the food, because the particle of gas can spread easily. And then when someone using perfume, the smell of perfume will distribute to all the room because the gas can move very fast. Okay. Now I will explain to you about change state of matter. I have explained to you matter, there are three states. One is solid, liquid, and gas. But in the different temperature, they will change. For example, solid will turn to liquid because of heat, and liquid will change to gas because of heat, and gas will change to liquid because of cool temperature, and liquid will back to solid because of cool temperature. Okay, so the matter can change because of the temperature. When you change temperature, the state will change. I will show you this one. This one is ice. Ice, when you put them in a 0 degree, so the ice will turn to water. Why? Because the temperature in the freezer is lower than in the room. So when you take out the ice from the freezer, so the water will turn, the ice will turn to water. It's called melting. And then when you boil this water into the stove for a few hours, the water will evaporate and they will change become gas. So this is called evaporation. And when you let the gas is cool, for example, the sky, if the water droplet in the sky, why there is rain in the sky? Because the water vapor, because of the cool temperature around the sky, so the gas become liquid. So this is why the rain fall. Okay, so when the water you put again in the freezer, the water will change into the solid because of very low temperature. Okay. Now I will tell you about melting. What is melting? Melting is the change of material from solid to liquid. Okay. What causes melting is heat. Okay. So melting is a change of matter from solid to liquid because of heat. You can see the particle of solid here is very close, but because of heat, it makes the particle becomes farther, so there is a small space, so they become liquid. So remember, because of heat, melting from solid to liquid. Okay, number 2, freezing. Freezing is the change of state of matter from liquid to solid. Okay, why? Because there is low temperature. For example, you put water in the freezer because of low temperature, and then the water become freeze. Number 3, boiling. Boiling is when a liquid is heated, it change its state, become a gas. For example, when you boil a water using a kettle, okay, because of the heat, you open the stove, and then the liquid become gas. Okay, the water evaporate. We call them boiling. So boiling is the change of liquid from liquid to gas. And the last is condensation. Condensation is when a gas is cool, the change become liquid. Remember that this is because of the low temperature. Okay, for example, in the sky, when the water evaporate, and then in the sky the temperature is so low, so the water vapor become water droplet, and they fall down, become rain. It called condensation. Thank you.